Hey, what's up, guys? It's Mshamba Marekani, and I wanted to answer one of a question. One of the guys asked about the timeline for a passport or a license, the documentation in comparison to maybe outside the USA. So for the documents, they they process them really fast. So if you're comparing let's say, and it's one of the reason like you see like when people go back home, let's say they go to Kenya, you see if you hang around people who have been in the USA for a while, you kind of realize they're kind of impatient when it comes to maybe getting documents, or even when they go to a restaurant and they have to wait like more than 20 minutes to get their food, or they have to make long lines and wait. They kind of get impatient because they have already been spoiled, by the American system, where things like they're expedited, like they happen really fast. So with a passport, let's say you've already been in the USA. Of course, you have to be a citizen to get a USA passport. Uh, so they have over, let's say, over 4,000 post offices. Uh, Connection is kind of poor. When it comes back, I'll continue. But I'll just continue with the video. So they have over 4,000 post offices where you can go and apply for, they take in applications for passports, you just have to call and make an appointment. You can make an appointment online, or you can call them. They provide their phone numbers online. You can call them, make an appointment for a passport application, and you can pass by the post office and pick up the documents you're gonna need, because there's paperwork you're gonna need to fill out. It's like a tiny brochure. So you fill out your information, your details for the passport application. Sometimes they might require you to have a passport size photo, but if you or some post offices, they just have you fill out the document. When you're ready, you come back, and obviously you have to come back with your birth certificate, or your, to prove your ID, and documentations to prove you're a US citizen. And they sometimes they'll just take the photos in their office when you make an appointment. But sometimes it depends with the post office, they might have you just take passport size photos, and you just go with them. So you apply, you get the paperwork, you fill out, you carry the documents you need, then you go, then you apply, and you finish the process. So for the passport, to get your passport, once you've done your application, it's going to take you 6 to 8 weeks. So but there's some people, they want their things like really fast. So you can do expedited, you can expedite, but you have to pay a fee. Expedite, that means you're gonna get it within less than 3 weeks. The timeline for, and the timeline I said 6 to 8 weeks, that's just, they're giving you just an average timeline. It might come back within a week or two. So they just give you an average, so 6 to 8 weeks. But if you do expedited, it's gonna be maybe less than 3 weeks, and you're gonna pay a fee. Maybe a fee is like $50 US, or 60, just an average of that money. Then there's people who have an emergency. Some people, they need their passport like really quick. They really need to travel, or it's expiring, and they have an emergency situation where they're required to have a passport. So you can also expedite that. They have a phone number you can call, and that one can take maybe 24 hours to get your passport. It also depends if you're close to a passport processing agency. But that's just the timeline, so it's really quick. Then the other one is a driver's license. Of course, with the driver's license, that one is really fast. So assuming you've already done your driver's permit, you've done the test. I think I talked about in the previous video about the uh, how to get, start driving and get documentation for driving. So assuming you've already, how to drive, you have a driver's permit, and now you've already passed, the road test or the skills test, and now you're ready to, have your own license. So you don't have to have somebody with you when you're driving with your permit, because you need to have somebody, next to you when you're driving with your permit. So assuming you have all that, then you go apply for your license. uh, they're just gonna need maybe proof of address, maybe to show you live there. Then uh, so they're gonna need proof of address and maybe just some documents to show that that's you, like two proof of documentation. Mostly if you have a mail, that got sent to your address, they want to make sure you live in that address. So then you apply and you get it the same day. So you go home with your driver's license. They process the same day. And unless there's any problems, but I don't think you should have a problem. You should be able to get your license that day. Then, I mean, that's just it. Most of the documentation they take really fast. If you need a notary, you just go to the post office or the UPS. UPS is just another provider for carriers, mail carriers, and you get your documents. So I mean, the timeline is really things. They kind of really go fast, and I understand the system is a little bit, organized, and you still back home you're still getting there, but that's how, when a system is streamlined, people don't have to take a lot of time or wait to get their documents processed. So, and that's just it. So if you guys have any more questions, just leave them in the comment and I'll be able to make maybe a video answering your questions. It's Mshamba Marikani signing out.